My name's Ryan Oldroyd. I'm from Glenwood, Utah. You probably know a lot of guys in Utah go on missions, and I went on one when I was 19. I typically go from 19 to 21. And I went to Lithuania, Vilnius, the Baltic states. And I was there about a year when I met another missionary, and eventually we figured out that we were both gay, and one thing led to another, and eventually we hooked up. So every month they have kind of worthiness interviews for missionaries where you meet with the mission president and he talks to you about like your work and your worthiness, whatever. So in that interview, so now I'd been out about 18 months, I confessed to having been with this guy a few times, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. I didn't really think anything would happen because I was really naive at the time. But they had a disciplinary council where they get, some old dudes together and they interview you about everything that happened, and it's very, graphic and detailed, and who did what to who and when and where and why. So when I went through that, and then they ask you to leave and you go out and they pray about it. And then when I was called back in, he told me that I was excommunicated, and then he had a plane ticket home for me for the next day, and I needed to call my parents and tell them to be at the airport. I called my parents. They were kind of ecstatic and in tears, of course, and they're still not really okay with it. I've come out to them multiple times, actually, and they, usually my dad's silent. My mom cries and then says, "We still love you," but then within 2 weeks they're trying to set me up with some girl from high school or something that they know is still not married. And I'll just say, "We talked about this, we had this conversation." But it doesn't really work. It's better than a lot of guys have in Utah. A lot of Mormon parents really can't handle it at all. And mine don't really accept it, but they also don't reject me. They don't, they just can't talk about it. It's something that's it really conflicts with their faith. And I get that to an extent, So it's not really discussed too much, which is okay. They're getting better, small steps, small steps. But, Mormons have such strict ideology and strict rules that for them to know that I drink coffee was a big step. So they've accepted that. We're on board. We can move forward with the coffee and maybe a little bit of wine. So we're giving them time on the gay issue.